My name is Tidhar Wald. I'm the Managing Director of the Better Than Cash Alliance. The Better Than Cash Alliance is a UN-based partnership of 85 governments, UN agencies and companies, all working together on the shift from cash to responsible digital payments. We started working on digital wages following requests from our members. The Better Than Cash Alliance is members driven. One constituency that we have are companies, and those companies made unprecedented commitments to move away from cash to digital wages. And when you started working with them, they said, we can each of us make our own commitment to move from cash to digital wages. But if we really want to see the difference, we need to work with the ILO. And this is how we started working with the ILO and the Center for Digital Wages. Shifting from cash to digital wages, if it's done responsibly, can be a huge factor in expanding access to financial services, particularly for women. We are specifically working in the garment sector, and the garment sector roughly represents 60 to 80% of workers are women. And if women, instead of being paid in cash, are paid into an account that is under their name, that they can manage, that is registered, they can then manage their own finances. And so that opens then the door for other products, maybe credit, maybe get a loan, but ultimately it's a safe place to store their money, it's a safe place to store their value, and they become the decision maker. Well, there are multiple. One of them is the lack of right products. And so we at the Better Than Cash Alliance are working with companies, with governments, with UN agencies, and with international organizations to make sure that payments are provided responsibly. And when we say responsibly, we mean that payments are transparent. We mean that payments are designed for the needs of customers. And so what we are promoting is a responsible approach to move from cash to digital payments. And that means that funds need to be protected. It means that the client knows what they're signing up for. They understand the conditions of the payment. It means that they have recourse mechanisms. The reason why we are promoting responsible digital payments is that's the only way the transition will happen. And that's why the UN principles for responsible digital payments are so crucial. And what we're seeing in more and more governments, more and more companies, more and more UN agencies are using this framework, making sure that payments work for people, and then contract financial service providers that will be abiding by those principles. What we're seeing is a huge uptake in terms of customers. We're seeing new financial service providers coming to the market. There are fintech companies. There are all these innovations coming out there that are changing the market and creating it, making it more competitive, pushing prices down, and also adapting to the different needs of clients. So the ILO, as the custodian of SDG 8 decent work, has a huge role to play in the transition from cash to responsible digital wages. It's the only UN agency that has both the employers and the employees and national governments, all three of them represented in the organization. The ILO and the center are really uniquely positioned to drive the digitization of wages across all those constituencies and working with member governments by one, sharing lessons of what works and what doesn't work, by providing policy advice, and then by accompanying all those constituencies, governments, employers, and employees, when they are deciding to make that transition happen from cash payments to responsible digital wages.